What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Leonard Miles. Once again, welcome to my channel. 2 Degrees in the CDL. I gotta come up with a nickname because that's a lot to say. But hey, until then, I'm gonna keep saying 2 Degrees in the CDL. Because hey, it's my journey on how I got here. So hopefully everybody's having a productive Friday so far. My day's going good. I got my truck out the shop. I've been down for 2 weeks, y'all. I've been down for 2 weeks. I have not been able to drive for 2 weeks. I have not made it out the state of Georgia. I had some issues go on with my DEF system on my Peterbilt 579. And for those who drive, we all know when that DEF system goes bad, you pretty much screwed. Like you're gonna be down for a while. Now I wasn't expecting to be down this long. I was able to, get my truck serviced at a shop in Columbus, Georgia. I won't say their name. I won't say their name at all. But I was able to get my truck serviced and everything. Everything was done, except for they couldn't clear out a code for the Davy system. And for those who, have DEF systems, and like I say, you have either Picard or Cummins engines. We already know a lot of times that Davy system, that stuff has, at that point, a lot of these mechanic shops locally, they can't clear out those codes, so they have to take it to the manufacturers. Peterbilt, Kenworth, International, all the same, so they had to take it to the dealership, and get those codes cleared out, since they'll be the ones who are able to do it because they have the software. So I had to take it up to Kenworth. I actually had to get it towed to Kenworth. Ooh, Jesus. Peterbilt. I had to get it towed in Peterbilt on Tuesday. I was at the weigh station all day on Tuesday as well, because I got put out of service because my brakes needed to be adjusted. So I had to wait and get that done. And then I saw how easy it was, to do it. I never did it myself. So I was like, all right, let me just call roadside service. It took them hours, of course. Then when they got there, it only took them about, I would say, less than 5 minutes, and he was done. So of course, I had to go ahead and ask, like, hey, show me exactly what you did, so the next time, I can do this myself and I don't have to wait. So he showed me what needed to be done, and I was able to, just to, take mental note of that, and just, tell myself, like, all right, I can do this. I can do this. But in the midst of me even trying to leave the weigh station, because I was going to head back home, I'm like, all right, I'll just get up and, head to Indiana the next day. I couldn't drive past 5 miles per hour. The regen system on the DEF, it wouldn't allow me to go past 5 miles per hour. So I had to call the tow truck company, had to get them to tow the truck to the Peterbilt dealership in Jackson, Georgia. So they got me squared away. So I'm back in the truck right now, thank goodness. So like I said, I was down last week and I was down this week. So like I said, thank God that I'll be able to, get right back out there on the road on Monday. Yeah, so I'll be going back on the road on Monday. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. I was definitely able to get a lot of stuff done, with the downtime. I got my TWIC card. We don't need it for this position right now at this moment, but I figured it'd just always be helpful just to have it. I just want to make myself marketable, all around. So I do have my TWIC card, and I was able to get a lot of stuff accomplished personally. That I wouldn't have been able to, had I been on the road. So, I took advantage of the time and I made sure I occupied it. best of my ability. All right, so now that we're done with that spiel and how my week has been and for the past 2 weeks, this is episode 2 of how trucking saved my life, and this is about selection of CDL schools. I tried to do a little bit of research on other states, but it just became a lot of research to do as far as CDL schools. So I'm just going to focus specifically on Georgia, but also just encourage you all as well to do your research in your states just to see if your state offers programs like this. So around July, it was like late July of last year, 2022, that I got my permit. So at that point, it's like, all right, it's time for me to find a school to go to. I knew they had all these other school programs. I knew they had like school programs that were 3 or 4 weeks long, some even shorter than that. Some may even offer scholarships or loans. But it's a catch to the scholarship part. A lot of times with the scholarship part, it's with the company that pay for it. They say they're offering you a scholarship, but it really is you signing a contract to drive with them for 12 to 15 months. If you don't read the fine print, like you really screw yourself in the end. And I just knew that that's not the route that I really wanted to go as far as, having a company pay for me to go to certain CDL schools. Also, what I realized as well, with a lot of the schools, were that they were like, some were like 4,000, 5,000. I would say the range that I saw was between 3,000 and 5,000. And at that time, I didn't have that type of money. I didn't have that type of money at all, to really get myself, into CDL schools. Like, man, I don't have that type of money at all. Like, my credit was shot, so I couldn't even get a loan, for the school, like, to pay for it. Like, I didn't I didn't even qualify like that. I was broke. I was broke financially, and I was broke mentally and emotionally. At that time, man, it's like, man, like, I mean, I was coming up, but I was like, man, I was still broke as well. It was like, hey, man, like, you gotta get your ish together, man. You gotta get it together. So I was able to, just continue to just do my research and navigate through all these different type of schools, these 3 or 4 week programs. And then, I realized instantly, it's like, all right, I can't afford to pay $3,000 to $5,000 for a 3 to 4 week CDL school. Like, I just didn't have the money. And to be honest with you, like, the route that I chose, which I'm gonna get into, even if I had the money to do it, I still wouldn't do it. A lot of these schools, like, your first week, they would get you prepared to take your permit test, your CDL permit test. If you already had it, of course, I believe, like, you'll just be sitting in class with everybody else. Either the people who have it or the people who don't have it, but you'll be sitting in class just for that time being. But like I said, I stopped looking because, like I said, I just didn't have, the money at that time. But then I found out, well, from me working there in the town that I was doing probation in at the time, LaGrange, Georgia, they had a school called West Georgia Technical College in LaGrange, and I remember that they offered CDL school. So I went on their website and everything, and I made some phone calls, and at that time, they had already reached their capacity as far as letting CDL, letting new CDL students in. And I called multiple other schools throughout the state, tech schools, because at this point it's like, man, I just really need to get in CDL school. I forgot what the name of the school was in Warner Robins, the tech school in Warner Robins, but I called them. They were already booked. I called schools in Covington, Georgia, the tech school in Covington, Georgia. I think it was Piedmont Technical College. They were already booked. The town that I'm from, Columbus, Georgia, Columbus Technical College, they just now started their CDL school. You would have thought it would have been had that over time, but they just started their CDL school as of July of this year. But at that time, they didn't have it. So I'm calling all these schools, every technical school in the state of Georgia, because I was desperate to the point where it was like, man, I will drive no matter how far it is, in order for me to get in school, because like I really wanted this. I really wanted to, make better changes. I just wanted just a better way of life, I just want to just do something different. And like I said, I was definitely, hungry and eager. So my last ditch effort was South Georgia Technical College, down in Americus, Georgia. So shout out to my people down there in Americus, Georgia. That's a second home to me. I definitely enjoyed my time being down there. I used to actually work down there in that area as well. But yeah, I actually called them. That was my last effort, as far as, okay, it's either this or I'm gonna have to wait. So I called. I was working the shift, doing my part-time law enforcement stuff up in Atlanta. So I called. Never forget it. Talked to Mr. Robert Cook. So shout out to Mr. Cook. And he was just telling me about the program. He was just telling me that, they'll let anybody in. Like, they're still letting students enroll. But I had to come down there to Americus the next day to turn in all the paperwork by 12 o'clock. So I'm already in Atlanta. So from Atlanta all the way back down to Americus is about 3-hour ride. But at first I was going back and forth. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna ride down there. But I did, and it was definitely the best decision that I made. Overall, for the CDL program down at South Georgia Tech, I paid the $29 fee in order to enroll in South Georgia Technical College, and I paid a processing fee of like $7 or $8. So the whole program only cost me like $35. What I realized from doing my research and from what they told me was that the state of Georgia, they pay for certain career programs because they're in need, and it's like 18 different programs that they pay for, and CDL school is one, and another one that I'm going to get involved in, to be honest with you all, is diesel mechanic school. So the state of Georgia, they'll cover those programs for you. Like, they will pay for you to go to school for those programs. Now, of course, it's a minimum requirements that you have to meet, in order to qualify. And what I'll do after I get done shooting this video is that I will share the link in the description of the video, and I will show you, so you all can see for yourself exactly what's needed, in order to qualify for they call it the Career Hope Grant. It was definitely well worth it. Like I said before, some people still had to pay, but they didn't have to pay as much. But for me to only pay like $35 in order for me to go to school, and the biggest thing about it was we had such a big class, and they had to split it up. So we only had classes like on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I started school around late August, early September, and I didn't test out until after Thanksgiving last year. So it took time, but it was really well worth it. It was really well worth it. In my next video, I'll definitely go into detail with you all as far as how CDL school went, you know, and the ups and downs that I had, because it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all, you know. So I'll definitely, you know, go into more detail about that. But for those of you who are in a different state and you know that certain technical schools offer, you know, CDL programs, check with them to see if they'll cover that, see if that's a like a career path that, you know, your state will cover, or if they'll pay for that because it's a need like in the state. But Georgia, under the technical college system of Georgia, like I said, they have a list of degrees and certifications that you can get into, and they'll pay 100% of it. You don't have to pay anything at all. Like I said, all you're paying is just the processing fee. So I'm gonna drop that link in the video once I'm done. And like I said, you know, for those of you all who are in Georgia, like I said, definitely take advantage of it. You know, if you want to get into CDL school, that's the best route that I would take. Some schools, they do it Monday through Thursday. Some schools do it Monday through Friday. I think it's just depending on how big the class is. They teach it at daytime and the evening time as well. The biggest thing that I want you all to remember as well, when you do apply for the CDL schools at the tech schools in Georgia, you must have your permit already, and you got to have a copy of your 7-year motor vehicle record. I think it has to be certified or non-certified, one of the two, but you got to have that in hand. It's best to just go ahead and get it certified, but you got to have your CDL permit, and you got to have your DOT medical card. And please, if you know that you have drugs in your system, marijuana, if you drink, all that stuff, like, don't even waste your money and apply. I'm gonna go ahead and just be honest with you. Like, there's nothing worse than, you know, you're going through this whole process, and you know you still got certain vices that you haven't been able to shake, like, because they're gonna do random drug tests, they're gonna do breathalyzer. I took a breathalyzer, you know, during that, and it was hard. Like, it was hard to just continue to just blow all the air in the little machine and stuff. Like, it takes a lot. So they're gonna be doing breathalyzers randomly. They're gonna be doing drug tests randomly. So, you know, like I said, as far as the beer and stuff, at least you know you can get that out your system. But marijuana and other drugs like that, please don't have that stuff in your system. Like I said, you know, if you're really serious about it, then you're gonna do what's necessary, you know, to make sure that, you know, you're the best driver that you could be. Like I said, you know, being under the influence and stuff like that, like I said, you know, while behind that wheel is definitely not safe. So I would definitely say, if you're not serious about it, then don't even waste your time and, you know, getting your permit and even applying to some of these tech schools. Let somebody else, you know, who's serious about it, you know, apply. But that's all I have for this video, you all. Like I said, you know, share the video, comment below, and please subscribe to the channel. And if there's any other topics that you all want me to discuss, I definitely can. Like I said, I'm still new on this journey as well, so I'm just give you all just a brief history on what it was like for me getting my CDL and what it is like for me driving now. But happy Friday, and y'all be blessed.